Good morning, all of you. Thank you for joining us. This morning, we have this wonderful, amazing guest teacher with us who has been kind enough to offer to come and do this. This is Geshe Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche, one of my own teachers. I've had many wonderful, incredibly valuable teachings from him. And since he's still alive, he's willing to teach you directly, and I really appreciate that. The subject here is in dream yoga. I've taught you that for a while now, but he knows things I don't know, that I haven't practiced. I'm familiar with them from books, but I haven't done them. Not properly enough to know exactly how they work. So much better you get that from him. So all together in preparation for that, I'm not going to do a big recitation, but in your hearts, take refuge in an open-minded, open-hearted, fully Rime way, in all those lineages that lead beyond the beyond, in all those archetypes that symbolize that, all of them, and in the dance of phenomena which has never been other than that, the true nature of mind itself. And with your minds and hearts open in that way, let us offer a mandala for auspiciousness. Saji Puki Juk Shing Mi Tog Tram Ri Rab Ling Ji Ni De Gyan Padi Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. The outer mandala, all that is. The inner mandala, you as all that is. The secret mandala, about which there is nothing to be said. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. So first of all, I am very honored to be here with Lama Lena and all the students around the world. I think this is a Facebook Live, right? Live.
This is going out live on Facebook and YouTube with translations.
Okay, wonderful. So everybody out there, all the people out there, we're happy to be here with all of you. So there's a book called Tibetan Yoga and Yoga of Dream and Sleep many, many years ago, one of my first books which was published. And also it's been translated into many languages. So I hope some of you have read that. And if not, if you are seriously interested in the topic, I would recommend that. It's also an audiobook because it's such a big topic to discuss in such a short time, which is very difficult to cover everything. So I would recommend that. So generally, as in the book, we have this two aspects, what is called dream yoga and sleep yoga, which is two totally different meditation path to enlightenment. And so what is the differences between dream yoga and sleep yoga is, in a way, what is the differences between dream and sleep? When you're dreaming, you're sleeping, but not every sleep you have a dream. So There are REM, there is a non-REM. There is in sleep where you have dreams, where in sleep you don't have dreams. In sleep you have a very samsaric dreams. In sleep where you have more dream of clarity, more awakening dreams, more dreams which is more connected with the Dharma, your higher aspect, your connection to the teacher and Buddha, Bodhisattvas, the source from where you can even receive transmission through your dream. So those kind of dream is like a different kind of dream. But most of the time when we have a dream, of course, what we call is a samsaric dreams. Basically, if you look at your dreams like yesterday night or night before, week before, you look at, it's very mundane thing like people you know, the places you know, the work you do, what people are doing, how you're responding to that. Very samsaric, where your own condition, activity, emotions, and thoughts are involved. So that's very samsaric. And so basically, idea of dream yoga and sleep yoga means dream is clearly one way to use as a path to enlightenment. Sleep is also one way to use a path to enlightenment. So this in the night, the day and the night. So in the night, there's a two, dream and sleep, both is or can be used as a path to enlightenment. I will add that saying can be used also as a path of clearing personal blockages, processing personal thoughts and emotions, and discovering your potentiality, your higher self, and develop to enlightenment and ultimately achieving enlightenment. So both dream and sleep can be used. So that in generally, of course, we all know that Buddha Dharma teaching is that at the end of the day, the Dharma teaching is, it says that every human experiences is and can be used as your own path to enlightenment. And very often we have a tendency as a human beings, we have a tendency to use some as our path to enlightenment, and some to reject, and some to avoid, some to deny. That's what we do. So we say, this is a path, this is not a path. This is what I need, this is what I don't need. This is how I need to be aware, and this is I don't need to be aware. So we make choices. But in the truth is, Buddha have never said that. And it's not absolutely never true that there is no human experiences that can be or should be rejected and not be aware, or cannot be used as a path of enlightenment or personal development and growth. So every single human experiences is and should be used as part of enlightenment. I'm talking about that, since most people are Dharma students, I'm talking about enlightenment, but those who are not particularly in the spiritual path or Dharma student, you can also think as personal development, personal growth. So clearly every human experience is a personal growth. And particularly more and more in my own life, what my teachers have been taught me, I've heard so many times, which is said that in the Dzogchen teaching, it says, "Chön tu tawe kolsa." Chön tu tawe kolsa means like your own emotions or your own pain, when you look at them as a mistaken, is an error. That line is, of course, I've heard so many times from my teachers, I've read so many times, I even taught so many times, but never clicked, never awakened me as much as it's been last couple of years. Been so much, became part of my own life and strong what I teach, is this is very true, that how we actually reject so many experiences that we have in our life. We think that this is not going to help me. Or for example, my problem in my family is not going to help me in my spiritual development. My mother, who's becoming an obstacle for my spiritual development, is not support at all, but it's an obstacle. My parent or my family or my work or my partner or whatever, whichever and whatever you're looking at, you're categorizing them as obstacle of your life. And you said, this is not going to help me in my life. But that's absolutely wrong. These difficult situations and challenging situations is the main doorway for you, because that's why they are there. And are you capable of dealing with them, dealing now, dealing directly? It's a different question. But avoiding it's not a choice. You can say, I know this is what I need to deal, I need to deal sooner than the later. This is avoiding is not an option, but which I have been doing for last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's not an option anymore. That awakening, I think, is really important to have it. So the dream and sleep, in that sense, comes the same thing. We have been sleeping for, how many years? Average in life, they say one third percent of the one's life we sleep. So that means maybe 25 years we sleep. So if you think about a 25 years of your life or 20 years of life, whatever that number is, it's a big number. And when you don't know what's happening at all these 25 years, that's quite shocking, right? Not knowing all these 25 years, what's happening, or something can happen, something can be done, and it can be used as a part of growth, discovery, development, and clearing, infinite possibility of the night in dream and sleep, infinite possibility, literally infinite possibility. That's why, so sometimes I feel like, every night I'm trying to go to sleep, I feel like, wow, this is amazing. Tonight, I'm going to go to sleep. I have infinite possibility to personal development, discovery even. And so first of all, I think to have this direct, sacred relationship to the night, to the dream, to the sleep, to have that relationship completely, I think that's very, very important. Because in a modern society, one of the biggest issue is sleep deprivation. And even in the younger generation, the kids having a lot of issues with that and not sleeping enough. And so somehow I think in the health-wise, it's a huge issue in the society, today's world, that so much of our problem of our health is the sleep, lack of good sleep, lack of deep sleep, lack of enough sleep. And then, of course, lack of awareness in the sleep, lack of able to use the sleep and dream into one's own path and personal development, spiritual development. So first of all the audience, I wanted to let all of you just think for a moment that this talk onward, if you don't have the right relationship to your sleep, this is the time you want to say, today is the time I'm going to change my complete relationship to my sleep and dream. That means every night I wanted to look forward to sleep. Every night I wanted to sleep early enough. Every night I wanted to sleep in a more sense of calm state enough. I wanted to use my sleep and dream. That relationship, that commitment, I think it's really, really important to have. So that's, I think, the one thing I wanted to say. Now, so what is, so basically the question is, how do you dream and sleep becomes part of your liberation and part of your enlightenment? So let's think about that. How does that become? Every single dream that you have in the night, every single dream that you have in the night, it's trying to tell you something. It's trying to process something. is trying to express something, is trying to teach you something. Are we aware of that? So people ask me sometimes, they say, you know, I have this reoccurring dream. What is it? I tell them, you're a bad listener. If you listen well, if you hear it, what your dream is trying to tell you, they will stop reoccurring. I mean, good is that until you hear it, they keep recurring. So they're waiting for you to hear it and process it well. So you're free from it. No more repeating that same dream again. No more repeating the same pattern of thought again. No more same conversation again. No more same topic again, because you have processed it. You have cleared it. You are free from it. No more repeating. So the dream repeats this again and again. So we all have, every night, there's something that's happening. And so that's what's happening. So I think, when does the process happen better, and when does not happen better or good? For example, you know, if you think about it during the waking state, you know, one time I was in New York, and this in particular street called St. Mark's, Second Avenue. I mean, those of you are there, you probably know. That street is quite a crazy street. You know, you sit there for 1 hour, you see all these crazy people screaming, shouting, doing crazy things, walking around. And you see, and I was thinking about it to myself, saying, this is a real street therapy. So street therapy means they're yelling, screaming, expressing themselves. Some of them, they're aware, some of them, they're not aware. It's like a dream. In dream, we do the same thing. You don't know what you're going to dream. You are dreamt. You don't plan to dream. You are dreamt. And when you're dreamt, what's happening in this dream is you don't have a control, or you can have a control. You can have some control, or you can change and transform completely. You can choose whatever you wanted to do. Basically, you can do whatever you wanted to do in your dream. You can fly. You can go back in time 500 years ago. You can forward 100 years in front of your life. You can go. You can meet masters that you have only heard of them, if you have never seen them. Teachings that you know and you never have experienced. You can have those experiences with those masters you have never met. In dream, everything is possible. But do we feel that? No. We don't even feel like we have even little control on dreams that what we are having. We are dreamt. So in the street, same thing. These people are screaming, and if there's a little awareness, maybe it's the therapy. What do people do in therapy? You go to a therapist, and who you trust, who you believe in the process of the therapy, and then you're trying to have this kind of a trust there, and you're trying to genuinely express whatever is going on in your life, emotions, problems, with something that you would not share with other people, you would share with therapists to process it. So when you do that, what the differences between the therapist and the screaming and the St. Mark's street? You're doing more or less, you're doing the same thing, but of course the difference is that in therapists, there's a witness there. You're somebody you admire, you respect, you trust, and also you pay. So that's a big factor of it. But in the street, when you're screaming, yelling, and doing crazy things, there's no witness. It's free. So the awareness changes everything. So when you are self-aware in the process in a dream, every dream processes differently. Even in your own life. When you're aware, when you're angry, the anger process, nothing wrong about being angry when your awareness is there. When your awareness is there, not there, you're even trying to be a meditation, you're sitting calm and quiet, but you're not aware of that. That calm and quiet not necessarily go so far, because even though it's a nice experience, the most important part is the light of awareness is missing. When you're depressed and angry, when you're aware, it's not going any wrong places. It is the best event happening because one, you are, in the Jungian, how you say, in the Gestalt therapy, people, they want you to get expressive of your emotions. And nobody's inviting you, but you are angry and you are aware. And these two combination, anger is transformed. So the dream, what is lacking in the dream, it's always is the awareness is lacking. So that the whole purpose of the dream yoga practice is to have a lucid dream. So that's the idea. So when you have a lucid dream, and then the dream, whatever dream you are having, it processes differently. First, it's for example, if it's a dream of anger, anger is clearing. If it's a dream of jealousy, jealousy is clearing. If it's a dream of ignorance, ignorance is clearing. If a dream of fear, the fear is clearing, because there is a witness, there is the lucidity, there is awareness there. So awareness allows to process these emotions much better. So that is the purpose. That's where the idea of lucid dream comes. Okay, so I will talk a little bit about what the lucid dream is. Of course, there are many books on lucid dreaming, and of course, on my book, Tibetan Yoga of Dream and Sleep, I do talk about 4 particular exercises to have a lucid dream. So among 4, I will mention them, but I will just mention 2 most important. One is exercise is during the daytime. Okay, so what is a lucid dream? First, lucid dream is, okay, what is not a lucid dream? Sometimes people get confused with. Lucid dream is not necessarily good dream. So people say, oh, I have good dreams are lucid dream and bad dreams are not lucid dream. That's not the case. Lucid dream has nothing to do with good or bad dreams. Lucid dream only has to do with if you're aware, regardless, if you're aware of your dream, regardless of it is a good or bad. That makes sense? You're aware of your dream while you're dreaming, regardless of it is good or bad. And in a way, if there is differences, even it's better to be aware of your dream, even when it's a bad dream, because bad dream has more chances to getting caught up and continuing bad dream. The dream studies shows there are more good dream turn into, in the end up in a bad dream rather than bad dream ultimately turning into a good dream. These are research finding in the dreams. So that's what the lucid dream is. So, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. So if you look at in the Dharma teaching, literally every single Dharma teaching that you have ever heard in your life, it comes down to one place, is the awareness. Self-awareness, knowing yourself. And it is taught by so many different ways in the sutric way where you have to renounce things to avoid all the distractions, trying to bring more focus and awareness. In the tantric teachings of the deity yoga, more path of transformation. In the Dzogchen, teaching on path of liberation, a method of leaving things as they are rather than manipulating too much. All these different methods. In the end, it is awareness. That's what we want during the daytime, the awareness. So, and if you think about that during the daytime, what is the difference during the daytime? I mean, right now, even in this very moment, as I'm speaking, I need to be aware I am speaking. I need to be aware whom I'm speaking. I need to be aware the group that I'm speaking. I need to be aware I'm on a Facebook Live. There are a lot of people listening there, not necessarily everybody level of openness is not enough or different level of openness. I need to be aware of all those things. And you and people who are listening, same. if there is awareness there, then whatever I'm doing, it can be guided into the direction when it's necessary to be guided. Guided away from my addictions, my conditions, my behaviors, my ignorance, my ego. These are not, maybe these are things are guiding, but I will not let completely guide away by my ego and ignorance. I'm able to bring a little bit more to the direction where I want and I wish to be. Same way, so that means awareness is able to change the direction of behavior, direction. So if there is no awareness, then I will be doing what I will be doing. And maybe all the things what I might be doing might be not necessarily good. So in the same way, in a dream, when you're aware of what you're dreaming, let's say you dream a tiger, a lion, snake, you feel your life is threatened by it. The moment you dream that, what do? You will be running away. You will be feeling tensions in your body, contraction in your muscles, mind is getting confused, trying to run away, and all those things. You will be doing crazy things, right? Until you are aware that this is a dream. And I am in dream, I'm having these terrifying animals, feels like it's threatening my life, but they're not real animals, they're out there. They're not inherently existing animal out there. And I'm not real, my life is not threatened by them, but rather than that, it's a dream, therefore I can change it. How I can change it? So first, this is a dream, I can change it. Simple mantra, right? This is a dream, I can change it. What I can change it? I can ride the lion, I can ride the Garuda, I can fly places that I've never been, I dream of. I can ride the lion and jump from the hills and the mountains. I will have fun with these animals, exercising the energies of these animals. So you're able to do that simply because you are aware this is a dream, and in dream you can do anything. Same way, if you come back to the life, I wanted to compare these things because this is what the teaching really says. If you come back to the life, this very moment, how many of you feel like you are in a situation in your life, you feel you don't have a choice? Okay, let's just slow down a little bit for a moment. I want everybody to think, in this moment in your life, you think you don't have a choice. I don't have a choice not to suffer because this level of this conflict that I have with family, friends, job, whatever. How many of you feel that? I don't have a choice to not feel pain because of the job that I do. I don't have a choice to feel happiness because the relationship that I'm in or the health conditions that I'm in, the pain that I'm in. Think about that. How many of you feel, you feel it's impossible to change? And you do say that, it's impossible. I mean, sometimes people say that some things like they get really annoyed and affected by other people saying, how dare my sister can say that? How dare my brother can do that? How dare my parents can say that, do that? My friends can say that, do that. And you get angry. You get mad. How is it possible they can do that? But the truth is, of course it's possible they can do that. That's why they did it. So even asking a question how they can do it is not a valid question because it's the past. Already they've done it, did it. Rather, you can say, why not? Why not? Somebody can criticize me. Who am I not to be criticized? People can have opinion about me. They can say what they wanted to say, but that doesn't affect me. I know my state, my genuineness, my honesty. So the conditioning yourself by somebody's opinion and conditioning yourself with some situation and you feel like you don't have a choice, it's not right. So think about this. You do have a choice. You do have a choice to go closer to someone. You do have a choice to connect with someone. You do have a choice to heal some wound. You do have a choice to smile this very moment. Incredible laughter of the Dakini, right? Yes, you can say ha ha ha. You can say pe and ha ha. You can just go ahead. Do that. You have a choice. Who says you don't have a choice? And if somebody else is saying you don't have a choice, that's not a big problem. But if you says you don't have a choice, that's a bigger problem. And how you can change that, it's only when you know you are saying that you don't have a choice. When you know that you're saying that you don't have a choice, it's right there, right there, that very moment when you recognize you opened the door. You just opened the door. You said, well, I've been saying this. That's not correct. I have a choice. I have a choice. And not only have a choice, I'm going to choose right now. I'm going to let that condition go and open up myself for the new possibilities. And I can do anything. I have infinite possibility. And of course you can. Of course, I'm saying this because I love this way to process thoughts. I love the way to look at this way. And I love to exercise that. I love to exercise in the most difficult situation that when I'm stuck in. And the most fun part, I love and have so much fun when I see immediate transformation of what I thought was impossible. The most fun part. And then I realized if I can do here, I can do anywhere. I can do this, I can do anything. So I'm reason why I'm coming back in a life, because this is exactly what's happening in a dream. And the only way it can happen in a dream is when you are aware of your dream. Okay, so that's the lucid dream, and that's the reason why we need to have a lucid dream. Reason why we need to be aware during the daytime. Reason why this awareness of the waking life and lucid dream is connected, and they need to be connected. Therefore, so the exercise of during the daytime will be first two things. One, when you wake up in the morning, you wanted to, mind is a little bit more clear in the morning. You wanted to wake up and look at around. You say, just like feel like this is like a dream, right? I mean, how you say, like right now, this morning and last, when I wake up in the morning and we are in California, Lena is in California, I'm in California. We are actually a few blocks away here. And one of the beauty about this area is you wake up in the morning, you see this clear sky. I mean, I know there's a lot of problems happening around here politically, in a pandemic and loss of job and deaths and sickness. I know, but at the same time, you wake up in the morning, you also see the beauty. And if you see beauty, and then you say, this is like a dream. So beautiful sky, so beautiful light, amazing. And all these beautiful people walking around. This is like a dream. We are lucky. Of course, when it's really wonderful, or you see it's wonderful, you have a good reason to say this is like a dream. Okay, when it's not a good, when you're really in a bad situation, and also easy to say, this is really like a dream. If you think about pandemic, it's like a dream. It's hard, right? I mean, 180,000 people are getting infected in one single day. or 13, 14,000 people are dying in one single day in this country. That's amazing. It's like a dream. And plus, and all these people, politicians, they're trying to make it political while so many people are dying, getting sick, and getting affected. And this is really like a dream, nightmare. It's a collective nightmare. As I said earlier, dream does not has to be good. I mean, lucid dream does not has to be good. And what we need during this most critical moment in pandemic, around the most places in the world, we lack individual and collective awareness in order to transform this nightmare that we are going through. So if you look, so that's what it is. It's a collective awareness, collective wisdom. Of course, when you say collective wisdom, you talk when in US, you think about this a politic, very divided situation. You have how like a whole country can come together. It's very difficult. That's the whole point, right? But how people can come together, or how any people can come together, divided countries, divided families, divided self, how you can come together is to be aware of the other side, not aware of your own, aware of what you're not aware of, not re-aware of your awareness. No, you don't need to be aware of your awareness. You need to be aware of your not aware. So the party needed to be aware of the other side where they keep complaining and criticizing the self, which is you're part of yourself, which you're not aware. You need to be aware of that. Part of family that you're not aware, you need to be aware of that. So awareness is playing a very important key role in unifying things together. So the first exercise is to see things as a little bit like a dream. So you say, this is a dream. It's a beautiful, this is a dream. It's a nightmare, this is a dream. This is a dream. And when you feel a little bit silly, sometimes we do, right? When you say this is like a dream, maybe you might feel a little bit silly. It's okay to feel a little bit silly. Nothing wrong about feeling a little bit silly. Nothing wrong about feeling a little bit more playful. You say, this is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. My cup of coffee is a dream. My car is a dream. My traffic is a dream. Going to the job, my boss is a dream. My problems are the dream. My relationship to my problem is a dream. Everything is a dream, 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 dream. So you have to exercise that. So what happens when you exercise that? When you're really able to see your experiences of the waking life as a dream, then once you go to sleep, the same experiences, they reoccur, right? You see your car, then if you have send enough strong message that your car is a dream, then in the dream, when you see your car, you will say, this is a dream. If you have said your boss who's very unpredictable, very judgmental, you don't like it, this is like a nightmare. If you say, my boss is like a nightmare, this is like a dream, if enough, then when you dream your boss, I'm not saying you have a bad boss, but in case you did have a bad boss, you do have a bad boss. So when your boss comes up in your dream, then you will say, this is a dream, because that's how you have saved. Imagine when you're creating a file in a computer, what do you do first? You open it like a doc. You say, new file. Empty screen comes up. Then you put thoughts together, good thoughts, bad thoughts. bad letter, good letter, whatever you're putting all your emotion, thoughts, and ideas, everything on that blank document page. And when you finish it, when you're trying to close the computer, what did it ask you? It says, do you want to save it? Right? Then you say, yes, of course I wanted to save it because I spent hours on it. Then it asks you, what do you want to call it? Then you say, personal, my issue, my creativity, my joy, my higher self, whatever you wanted to call it. You name something to it. And then you shut it down. When you shut it down, next time when you open the file, your file comes up. It says, this is your file with the name. So when you relook at the file, that's like a dream. You have did all the activities during the daytime. You have saved it in a particular place called base consciousness. You have named it called samsara. You have a particular name called personal, whatever it is. When you go to sleep, samsara file shows up. That's called dream. When you look at the dream, then in a small note, they're saying, this is a dream, or this is a personal, this is a problem. Whatever you have named that file, the name shows up in the file. So how do you work with that file? Two ways. One, best way is to delete. You say, well, I wrote this horrible letter to this person when I was angry, but process of writing was healing enough. I do not want to send the letter. So I feel good. I feel processed already. I'm good. So I'm going to delete the file. Of course, that's the number one choice. That's called path of liberation, Dzogchen file. That's the Dzogchen way. Delete it. Or you can say, you look at the file again, you say, oh, no, I cannot really delete. I really do need to send this file because of these, you have 100,000 logic reasons, right? So what I can do is edit it again. You say, oh, I should not have said, this is too strong, this is too bad, this is too unkind, this is not a spiritual person writing this email, and you edit it, right? You do edit it, and then what do? You said, save it again. Not save as before. You have to give a new name, maybe. Second edited version. Now you have to change name rather than deleting file, changing name. That's another process. Deleting is the best. If you're not able to delete, change the name. And that's what we are doing. Every time when you are processing your own thought and you are talking with somebody, we are revisiting our thoughts and emotions, and we are saying, this does not have to be that much painful. This does not have to be this bad. This does not have to be this much pain-producing machine. This can be better. You process it, you work on it, you clear it, you rename them, saying, this is a potentiality. Of course, when we say, in a computer, it's funny, if you have all this junk mail, what is the best way to delete it? Shift A, right? Shift A. A, like in Dzogchen, select all. It's nice, I like this idea of select all and then delete. You don't have to spend years to deleting every single file, wasting your time. Do the select all and delete file. In one single moment, deleting all the files of the past. Amazing liberation in one single moment, right? So it's a self-liberation. So anyway, going back to the idea of this is a dream. So this is a dream. If you exercise that, what happens when the file shows up in your dream? Then you will see it will remind you automatically. If metaphor of example of file, you will see a little letter saying, you say, what is the name of the file? You say, this is a dream. Oh, okay, this is a dream. Okay, this is a dream. This is a dream. Yes, this is a dream. So, when you know this is a dream, what you can do, you are free. You can do anything what you wanted to do. So then lucid dream happens because it's message is sent it. It's a triggers that. Now, second, so what we call the first one is called like a perception. Perception means everything you see. If I see like my cup, right? This is my cup, my tea here. I look at that. I don't just look at anyway. There's always some special way of looking at my cup. Of course, you can see why I choose this cup versus so many other cups in my kitchen, because I like this. Maybe I like this because I think maybe this is a wood, or maybe I think this is somebody gave me. Maybe I think this is the most expensive. Maybe I think this is the most fancy. Maybe I think this is, I don't know, whatever this is, I'll identify with, right? I drink this, I look at personal relationship. Oh, this is my cup. I'm attached to it, but this is a dream. Because why? This cup particularly dream, because I am attached to it. Because not every object that I experience will not have the same level of impact on my consciousness, on my dream. Only those objects, those experiences where I'm more attached or I grasp stronger will have more stronger, immediate, quicker impact on me. Therefore, I needed to be extra conscious, extra aware, and extra changing name. I love my cup, but cup, you are my dream. This is a dream. And so everything that you, not necessarily always something that you like, sometimes it's shocking for you. You walk down the street, maybe you meet this huge dog, looks like a lion, and you're a little bit kind of fuzzled by it. You're like surprised and shocked, and you might be worried about it. That very moment, you have to say, oh, I feel my fear. I'm feeling my running away. I'm feeling caused by this big dog. But second, for a moment, trying to be calm, quiet, but this is a dream. This dog is a dream. This dog is a dream. My reaction, fear to this dog is also a dream. I'm in dream. I have a choice. I don't have to be afraid. I can be present saying that. So two things. One, in a perception, saying everything is a dream. One, particularly when you're reacting to something, you say particular saving or naming, this is a dream. So the two exercises. Third exercise is before you go to sleep. So before you go to sleep, just for a moment, you look back, it's like rewinding back the whole day. And usually you look back the whole day, there's something that you remember. There's people say, when you come back home, people will say, how was your day? If you're talkative, then you can say, oh, my day was fun, fantastic, wonderful. I met this person, we did this, and this is what happened. I really had a great time. Or you say, oh, it's not so good. I met this person said that, we had this interaction. It was not so much fun. You have something to say about your day because day is not always the same. Or you might not say much, but you definitely have saved experiences in yourself, different files that you're not conscious, you're not aware, you might not talk about it, but it's there. And if you're interested, you can just be a little bit more open. You look back, what happened today? Oh, I met that person. Oh, there was a little bit judgmental on my side. Oh, there was a little bit, somebody said something to me, I was overreactive. When you look back, when you open, you see those things very clearly. And you don't have to totally clear them, but you are aware of them. You brought some light to them. You said, oh, I judge that person, but usually people judge, but at least I recognize it's okay. And I will try to be more aware next time not to judge people. Just even slight thoughts like that before you go to sleep, you already process it. But going going to sleep like half dead, throwing your bag, throwing your socks, throwing your clothes, throwing yourself on the bed like a half dead, and forget about being aware of anything. And then you can throw everything, but they don't throw you. They're, especially when you throw everything, you're saying, I'm giving up, I'm not aware, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm not going to do meditation, I'm not going to be aware. All this demon of ignorance of your sleep, they say, yes, tonight we're going to have a fun because this guy has given up everything. So we will have a great party of whole 6 realms of demons, and demons going to have party in his deep unconscious, because nobody will chase us out. We'll take all our time to have whatever fun we wanted to have, because he has given up tonight, right? So that's what happens. So when you don't give up, and then at night before you go to sleep, you review your day and bring into awareness and shift some energy things and go to sleep. That's the third exercise. And the last exercise is when you get up in the morning. Every time you get up in the morning, when you look back, it's good, it's important to look back to see what happened yesterday night. Oh, I was aware. When you're aware, what do? You feel joy. Oh, I was not aware. I was not aware, but I will continuously practice, reinforcing your practices of awareness when you wake up in the morning, rather than forgetting that you did intention, you have an intention to practice, you practice during the daytime, you did have intention in the night, you are aware in the night, you set up some intention, and in the night, whatever happened, did not happen, you're trying to bring more awareness in the morning, and now I'm ready for my new cycle of the day. So that cycle is connecting with the day and night like that. So these are 4 exercises. I think it's very important to have a lucid dream. So maybe just this, as I finish this 4 exercise, and maybe I will leave it to, we will do some exercise, meditation afterward. Maybe I will leave it to some question. If maybe Lama Lena, if you see some question is there, and if you can please read it to me or tell me, then I will be happy to, if I can answer.
I am hoping that you will talk to us a little bit about working with the seed syllables in the chakras.
Okay.
This is my question.
Okay. So usually, I think there are a lot of people, I think those who are focusing a specific aspect of focusing in the 4 areas on the throat. That's one chakra. Usually we visualize 4 petals, red petal and a white syllable A on the top. And then in the forehead, we visualize white sphere of light, white tigle. And in the heart, we visualize a black hung in the heart. And then in the secret chakra, we visualize a black tigle, sphere of light, black sphere of light. In that sequence, throat, forehead, heart, and the secret chakra. And they are particularly, idea is like accessing our innate 4 qualities. 4 qualities will be, so as I'm speaking, those who are listening, if you do have some question, please do submit. And then when we come back, we will try to address some of the questions. So this 4, accessing our 4 innate quality will be peaceful. We say, Xi, Ji, Wang, Ta, Xi, Ji, Wang, Ta. So peaceful, in expansiveness, power, and fearlessness or wrathfulness. So there's a 4 quality. If you look in most of the Buddhist iconography, particularly Tibetan Buddhist iconography, and if you look, and there's a peaceful deity, expansive deity, wrathful deity, and all the deities that you see, that, I mean, in a way, these teachings are very realistic teaching, because it's not not always loving, kindness, and peaceful. That's not real life. Real life, we have all aspects in our real life. So, and we do need to access all qualities equally in balanced way. So this is in the teaching. These 4 chakras and 4 syllables are a way of accessing these 4 qualities. For example, throat. This is a demigod area where ego and pride, and ego and pride is the opposite of the peace. So anytime when you are not feeling peaceful enough, pride has a place. So usually you think people who are more vulnerable, more weak, more fearful, they need to show more of their ego, more of their pride, because that's what they think it's an antidote. Of course, that is not the antidote, but their misconception of antidote is to feel more ego. So here is the peaceful will be when you are able to clear your throat chakra, clear your demigod pride, feel the peace, connect with that peace through the syllable A, and enter into a dimension of peace before you go to sleep. When you arrive into this deep unconscious place, you are in a pure land of peacefulness. So when you arrive in the pure land of peacefulness, whatever images and dream and experiences you're going to have impact by the peacefulness, because that's why you're landing. It's a landing place. That's where you land it. When you don't have that access and entering into that throat, that chakra, that syllable, your landing place is where you are conditioned to land, not where you wish to land, where you wanted to land, where you land with your aware power of your awareness, power of your practice, power of your specific intention through the throat chakra, through the A syllable, through that peace quality. Then you have a specific dreams are peaceful. So if you demigod dreams, you would have ego dream where you're fighting a lot, struggling a lot. You have a peaceful dream. You're settled. You're settled in your business. You're settled in your relationship. You're settled in your position of life, whatever it is. You're settled in your finance. You're settled in your, whatever the social position you are in. You have your peace. You have peace with what you have. You have peace with what you don't have. You have peace with nothing. You have peace with everything. You are in peace. Or you have peace. You don't have a peace with everything what you have. You don't have a peace with everything what you don't have. You don't have a peace because every night when you enter into a dream, you are entering into the zone of activated ego. That's why I think the reason why the throat is important. Or same way, the other way around. The sphere of light in the forehead is expansion. The expansion is that, expansiveness, if you think about anything we do in our life, for example, very practical sense, you look at your life, I look at my life. Every given moment, we look at our own life, we think about, well, this is all what I can do. I would love to be helpful. This is what usually I think about. I think in my life, I think about, I wanted to be useful. I wanted to be helpful. And sometimes I think, this is all how I can be useful. This is all how I can be helpful. But then this is all I can be useful, helpful means I'm putting a limit to myself. I'm saying I cannot do more. I stop my expansion. Jepa. I became my own obstacle for my expansion of being beneficial for others. I see all the time myself. And of course, I see more other people who are like that. I see more clearly in them because they're not me, but I definitely see in myself that too. And when I see that in that very moment, of course, first thing I say, no, it's infinite possible, remember? So, but you don't have to go infinite place. What is your next step of expansion? Not expanding is not an option. Blocking yourself is not an option. How much you want to expand is an option. Taking a break from expansion is an option because I need a break. Break is okay, but blocking is not okay. So expansion is absolutely necessary. So recognizing that, I think in a dream, when you're able to enter into your forehead, into the sphere of light, and clearing recognition of whatever obstacles are, clearing that and entering your dimension of expansion, I think really helps. And then coming down to a power in the heart, the black hole. Power. What is the power? Power is not controlling others. Power is not grasping on your own power. Power is not affected your potentiality by others' fear. Because every time everybody projects their fear on us. You grow up as a child, parents project their fear on you. You live in the society, society projects their fear on you. Society defines sometimes saying what you can or you cannot, what you are able and not able to do. Others define for you, but you don't need to allow to others to define your potentiality. Your manifestation should not be defined by others, and recognition of that's your power. So power, I mean, in principle, that's the power, but energetically, meditatively, in a dream yoga practice, the power is when you're able to enter through this black hole into your core heart, who you are. And that's what the Hung does. Being yourself, realizing who you are is your power. And that's where we discover our potentiality. And our potentiality does not mean, obsessed with manifestation, no. But awareness of what needed to be manifest, what time and where, that is the important awareness of enlightened activity. Not just manifestation, but what to manifest, when to manifest. Because sometimes not manifesting is a manifestation, and sometimes today's world society, sometimes it feels like also very important, not manifesting when, it's a manifestation itself. And the last thing is about the black tigle in the secret chakra is really like the full realization, manifestation of self-realization and fearlessness. And that is, I think, is important. So anyway, these 4 locations, 4 syllables are sources of 4 quality that is very important for full human being, humanness, our potentiality to discover that. So maybe there's some question I will take now.
Nayando, do you see any questions?
Yes. I'm hoping the sound comes through. A number of people have asked about dreams in which they've either received teachings, met up with doctors or bikinis, met with enlightened teachers while dreaming. And the main question would be, how real or true are such dreams? And if someone has those, what practices will either encourage them or work with them?
Were you able to hear that?
No, can you repeat it, please, Lena?
What Nayando was reading, and she can see it better on her computer than I can here, okay, was that many people have had dreams of seeing teachers, archetypes, yidams, dakinis, and receiving teachings. And they're asking, how real is that? How much can we trust this?
Yes.
Is there a practice that will encourage it?
Sure. So generally, you know, as a human being, as a Dharma practitioner, sometimes we have a tendency to trust more to our problem and limitation than our potentiality and our strength. So, for example, people will say something like when they're having beautiful meditation, they feel like a very free joy, peace. Then they will say, is it real? Am I making it up? But when they have a deep, dark problem, pain, they never ask that question saying, is this real? Am I creating all the confusion and all this pain, all this conflict? Am I producing them? People don't ask this question. So the question about what is real or not real, everything is real or everything is not real. So whatever you wanted to make it real, it's real for you. And whatever you wanted to make not real, it's not real. I say dreams are real as waking life. Waking lives are unreal as a dream. So that's my mantra. Of course, it's hard to understand fully, but that's where the bridge, what we are trying to build. So I think those who are having these dreams, you're lucky, you enjoy, you cultivate them, you build more connection, and through them, you meet more teachers, more yidams, and let them guide you, your life.
So how can we encourage ourselves to have more of these?
So the main thing is, I think, in the first place, where people who are having these experiences, it's not everybody who is having these experiences. Those people who are having these experiences is because they do practice Yidam practice. They did some initiation, receive some initiation. They do have some connection to the master. They do have some pure vision. They do have some trust. They do pray to them. They do have spontaneous devotion. They have all these experiences because of that. They are having these experiences. So if you like the result, increase the causes more. Reason why it happened.
Nyando, do you see any other questions here?
A couple of questions. One of people asking about specific mantras or practices that will encourage lucid dreaming. So some people are asking if there is a mantra or practice like that, visualization practice, that they can use to encourage dreaming, lucid dreaming.
Yeah, so as I said, you know, like if you look at the Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep book, and if they look the 4 main practices, 4 stages of the practices, focusing on the throat, focusing on forehead, heart, and the secret chakra, I think these syllables there, I think maybe it's good to become more familiar and be familiar with those syllables, at that location, the moment before you go to sleep. So these are important. Then of course, there are endless, countless mantras, but I think, but syllables which is already there, pronouncing them, seeing them, relating to them, understanding about them, that's what I would recommend. And also what I would recommend is that sometimes those who are new to these things, maybe you don't even know what syllable looks like and so on. One thing I would tell all the new people, I think before you go to sleep, as far as these 4 locations is concerned, we Tibetan, we call korlo. In Sanskrit, we say chakras. So these 4 chakras, throat, forehead, heart, secret chakra, these 4 locations, if you bring more awareness to these 4 locations, your dream will already begin to change. And maybe you can say, oh, well, there's a 4, then what would be a good place to start? I think I would start first too. I would start with the throat, for example, or I would, if throat is a little bit hard, then I would go to the heart. So for example, heart. Before you go to sleep, just simply think about that before you go to the, you know, many times we don't do practice because we have excuses. Oh, I don't know the syllable. I don't know, remember the syllable. I don't know the mantra. I don't remember it. And these are the excuses, right? So when you drawing attention to your heart, drawing attention to your throat, there's nothing to remember or not remember unless you say, I don't know where my heart is. I don't know where my throat is. You would not say that. Right? Your throat and your heart is, your body is with you all the time before you go to sleep. So bringing simple, open, clear attention to your heart. Just do it right now. Simple, clear, open attention to your heart. Imagine like your heart is this little baby and you're a mother. You're a loving mother and your heart is this cute baby. How would you look to that baby? How would you bring attention to that baby? How would you feel that baby? How would you hold that baby in the heart? Just feel that. And then with that experience, with that connection, you allow yourself to fall asleep like a mother holding a baby and loving arm. You fall asleep. So even then, if you are able to do that, it's the simplest thing, beautiful thing, hard to not remember. I'm sure you will have, your dream and sleep will change. Think about that. Every single night, when you go to sleep, you have your favorite position, right? Maybe you have one extra pillow that you like to hold it. You like to bring closer, right? Many people do that. So before you actually fall asleep, that's what we do. We go to the bed, we're trying to find this right position, and we're trying to put the pillow in the right position, and we're trying to hold another pillow on the right position, and we say, this is perfect. Why is perfect? Comfy, comfortable, joyful, joy, peace. And then you say, now I allow myself to fall asleep. You sleep. Physical position. But the mental position, most of the time, we don't pay attention. Like what? You would, for example, you will find a right kind of physical position and then you will say, oh, that horrible person, amazing, horrible thing this person said to me. You're not conscious, but you're thinking about it. With comfortable position, very uncomfortable position of mind, you go to sleep, you're expecting a good dream. Good dream is not going to happen. Bad dream is going to happen in a good physical position, right? So I think it's reason why I'm saying these things is that I think sometimes people always think immediately like a deity, a syllable, and this and that, getting into this really very esoteric form, which is fine. When you're ready to do that, it will definitely help. But more fundamental thing, people ignore them. And just simple as bringing a clear, open attention to your heart, or bringing a open attention to the discomfort that you felt with the conversation with somebody, which is still there before you go to sleep, even no matter how comfortable physical position you found. It's important. Somebody got to be aware. Okay? Yeah.
So another question, having read your book, it seemed to strongly emphasize the order in which the chakras are worked with. And yet what I'm hearing from you today is that that is not as important. Could you clarify this for me?
Yes. So that's an important question. So generally speaking, what is important and what is not important is very relative. And it's a different levels that people practice. When people practicing on one level, there's one approach. When people are practicing another level, there's another approach. When there are people who are not practicing, there's another approach. But in all, the idea of the practice is not necessarily important. Those who don't practice at all or practice very little. So sequence does matter. And those who wanted to practice whole 4 in one single night, every 2 hours, they do matter. Why they do matter? Because energetically, like if you think about, this is my logic, rational logic is that peace, expansion, power, and fearlessness, these 4 emotions, they have a sequence. Peace is really important. So for example, sometimes people are trying to expand their life. They're trying to develop, they're trying to grow, they're trying to expand, but not finding their base, finding peace. And when you don't have a peace, you can, for example, when you're not peace with what job you do, you're not going to expand. When you are not in peace with person you are in relationship with, you're not going to go deep. Intimacy is not going to go deeper. When you're not in peace in your life, life is not going to expand. Peace is important in first place. Then the expansion comes second. In a sequence, in that sequence, once you feel expanded, that means you feel like, well, whatever I need to do as far as this job is concerned, this is what the maximum I could do. I'm happy with that. Or whatever the relationship with a person, this is what the deepest place I can be with someone and share with someone. And I'm happy with that. The expansion, you feel like some sense of satisfaction of your expansion because you developed that expansion because you felt peace with someone or something. Without peace, no expansion. Without expansion, there's no power. Nobody feels powerful when they don't reach their level of expansion. They don't feel I'm powerful. I feel strong. They feel only when I'm strong when they are able to exercise their full quality and expand it. Nobody is going to feel fearless or overcome fear or have less fear unless they reach the connection to their power within. They will be always afraid. They will be always challenged by the situation and others' opinions because they have not realized their own power within themselves, expansion within themselves, peace within themselves. So sequence matter in that sense. And developmentally, I think sequence matter. But sometimes sequence does not matter in specific things. For example, earlier I was saying that sometimes I feel sometimes throat is a little bit complicated, the forehead and the secret chakra, but the heart seems like very easy to relate to. So most of the night for me, I will always, if I'm not doing all the sequence, I try not to forget, not to do any chakra, particularly heart, always, every night, that I bring my full attention to the heart, as I'm talking about earlier, mother and the child, and connecting that place. So when I'm aware of my heart, when I'm aware of my heart is open, when I'm aware of that I feel warmth, I feel comfort, I feel peace, I feel qualities in my heart. That means I'm not only feeling open, I feel perfection of qualities in my heart. I'm not only like an ornament, Samantha Badra, like a naked, but I'm ornamented by peaceful ornaments. I feel the qualities which protects me, then I feel good. I feel more protected with the other dreams that I might have because I'm armed with my syllables and my qualities in the heart.
Thank you. That makes wonderful sense. Nyando, do we have any other questions?
Do when you are so excited about being practicing dream yoga that you can't fall asleep?
That's a good one.
Oh, I'm going to go off and do it, and then you can't sleep. And alternatively, what to do if the dream is either so overwhelming or nightmarish it wakes you up.
So people are asking, when one is so invested in dream yoga and quite excited about doing it, sometimes you can't get to sleep because of that. What to do about that? And conversely, if a dream is so intense that it wakes you up in the middle of the night, what to do about that? So that's maybe one question, maybe two questions.
That's a very good question. And people do say, like when you think about visualizing and particularly those who have never seen before, first time seeing strange syllable, and then you're trying to bring that strange syllable in your throat, which is already, itching, and then you're trying to focus on there, it's hard. So I tell people, don't fight with Nobody ever in the history won by fighting with So don't even not try to fight with So you will always lose if you fight with So this is really like not only any meditation, even you're trying to relax. If you're trying too hard to relax, you're not going to relax, right? If you're trying too hard to relax, you're not going to relax. If you're trying too hard to love, you're not going to love. You're going to get angry. If you're trying too hard to be nice, you will end up being not nice. If you're trying too hard to help, you're not going to help. You need help. So all these extra efforts are never useful in any practices, particularly practice of self-awareness, or even in everyday life. Just making a cup of tea, don't try too hard. Trying to smile at somebody, don't try too hard. Trying hard doesn't work. So basically, I think it's more important to recognize that maybe you're trying too hard to visualize these syllables, visualize the yidam. So we say, see it, feel it, be aware of it, let go. So let go part is very important to be aware. Let go. In the end, you have to let go in order to fall asleep. In the end, you have to let go in order to be free. In the end, you have to let go in order to relax. In the end, you have to let go in order to smile. In the end, you have to let go in order to connect. You have to let go.
Thank you. Yes. And what about waking in the middle of the night from a dream of great intensity? How do we go about processing that so that we can relax again?
Yeah. So first of all, waking up middle of the night, I think it's a big issue for so many people nowadays. And sometimes when I'm traveling, I feel when I have a jet lag, I do wake up in the middle of the night. And sometimes these nights, when I do wake up, it becomes most creative moments for me. but I trying to not to make it a creative moment. I said, creative moment is an excuse. You go back to sleep. Just go back to sleep. So I think one thing I think is really important is to, I mean, I talk about personally. So when it happens to me, there are a few rules that I set up as far as the sleep and dream. I try to go to bed early. This has been last number of years, but my commitment to myself is to go to bed around 9, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little late, and I get up around 5, 6, and sometimes early, sometimes a little late, but making sure that I sleep enough. That's a very important key. And when I do wake up, one thing I do is not to get up, not to turn on light, not to trying to be pretending to be very creative, not to trying to turn on my screens, and not to turn, not to go in the kitchen and make a cup of tea, not do anything. Go back to sleep. Back to sleep. Of course, I understand some people are saying, yeah, I get it, but that's the problem. I cannot sleep. Well, first you have to follow the first rule, which means don't wake up, don't turn on the screen, don't make tea, don't be creative. Just remember the sacred sleep is important. And so what do you do? What do you do? I recite sometimes mantra, like in the Burn tradition, we have a mantra called Akarame. Akarame Tuduso Naposhishi Malmal Soha. It's like a mantra for purification. So I'm sure many of you know a different mantra for purification. Just use one of them, which you know how to purify things. And also what I do is I try to be aware of what's going on in me. And maybe when I'm trying to bring awareness in myself, I can see there was one single thought from yesterday's event was discomforting me, but unconsciously it was still present in my sleep. And when I wake up, that thought was still there. That thought was saying, hi, probably you don't know me. I was here yesterday afternoon with you. And I'm the one actually who did wake you up, in case you don't know who wake you up. And I could be the one probably keep you rest of 3-4 hours until to the morning, wake you up. So it's me. If you look carefully, it's there. You will notice that. And when you see that, you have to process it. You have to say, okay, yeah, I see it. I breathe it out. So what I do, I breathe out that thought. I breathe out that emotion. I breathe out that thought and emotion from particular discomfort places in my body. Maybe I'm holding that emotion more in my heart. I'm trying to bring awareness into my heart and breathe out from there. Maybe I'm holding that emotion on my throat, blocking my communication. I breathe out from there. Wherever in my body I feel that emotion is more energetically present, I breathe from those locations consciously, very consciously, with trying to be full, as much as awareness for 5 minutes without interruption of any other things. When I'm able to do that, recite the mantra, bring attention there, breathe out uninterruptedly for 5 minutes, most of the time I'm gone back to sleep. But if I'm not able to do that, then I turn the circle again and again, again and again and again. Then I wake up, then I pretended to be creative, then I would go up, make a cup of tea, go crazy.
Thank you very much. Is there more questions?
One or two more.
Let me have one.
As escapism, to avoid our waking life and responsibilities.
I'll try that. Someone asks about using lucid dreaming as an escape mechanism, as escapism, where finding themselves able to do lucid dreaming, they use it for entertainment to escape from their problems. Can you say something about how to recognize this when that's what you are doing, and how to deal with the urge to do that?
Yeah, so I think it's a very good question. And I think it's really difficult question to answer one way. I don't think there is one way to answer the question. If you look at in a life, you know, and when you feel you have a lot of issues, problems, conflicts, feeling a lot of pain, confusion, feeling down, depressed, and then sometime when you just, you know, trying to forget about everything and just go see a nice movie, and just go with a friend out. If you know it's hard, just go to a movie. Even it's hard, go out for dining. You do that. It's helpful. The question is, are you running away? Are you avoiding it? And so that's a good same way. I think lucid dream. So what I'm saying in some time may be useful, and it's okay to do that. But when itself is becoming a frequent way of disconnecting, avoiding, not facing it, then it's not good. And sometimes when you really need it, able to use it because you're trying to take a break from your problems, it's okay. We all do that, you know. We all do that in a life. We need a break. There is a week, it's called weekend. It's called holidays. Basically means break. And we need a break from each other. We need a break from, you know, even somebody you love very much, you need a break from that person. We need a break from your own thoughts. You need a break from your own emotions. But just a break. But if it becomes a pattern of avoiding, then that's not a good direction. So yes and no. I hope the answer is clear.
Yes, I think it is. And a lot of things turn out to be circumstantial like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think we're at the end of it. Was there anything else really important?
One question that physical limitations on sleep. For example, sleep apnea where they wake up frequently, or say narcolepsy where they sleep at random times. Does he have any advice for people who want to control their dreams even though they can't really control their sleep?
Okay, this is a specific question from people who suffer certain illnesses that affect their sleeping, such as sleep apnea, where they have to use a machine sometimes to keep them breathing because they stop breathing during the night and it wakes them up too often. Other people who have problems where their sleep does not happen at night, but at random times. It's something with the glands in the brain. People with these physical issues. Is there any suggestions you have for how to work within these in order to practice dream yoga and in order to use the dream time?
Yeah, so I think body, energy, and mind, they're all very interconnected with each other. So sometimes these conditions, I think, there are many conditions. For example, personally, I can share that in Tibetan tradition, sometimes we say, wind disorder. Wind disorder, if you take a little bit more heavier food, like a broth, particularly in Tibet, that's a bone broth or something like that, like soup, and they say it's good. And then sometime, in the dream yoga teaching, I do talk about, they call obstacles of dream sleep. So they are more physical related, they are more energetic related, they are more psychological related. So when there is more physical related, I think I would pay a little more closer attention to the diets of the food, not eating too heavy, or even possible skipping dinner. When I do fasting, I sleep much better. When I have dinner, and when I have a dinner or late dinner, it's affecting my sleep more. So having dinner, lighter dinner, earlier dinner definitely helps. So I would pay more attention to amount of food, quality of food, and to those things. And then as far as, like breathing is concerned, I think it's good to get consultation with doctors, like whatever is absolutely necessary. And then sometime energetically, we say, like even doing a cheer practice or practice of emptiness, they say it's recommended. I can understand, because recently I wrote a poem called "Who Am I," and I read this poem, and actually it's on my Facebook. Those who are interested, I would recommend to listen to it. So idea, and some people have said, oh, after I'm having a problem sleeping. Of course, it's not meant to be for that, but people gave me a feedback saying, I was having a hard time to sleep. I read and listened to the poem and I slept. So in the poem, basically, it's what it's saying is, I'm no one. I'm no one. I can be anyone. Who am I? I'm no one and I can be anyone. So this sense of I'm no one, because someone is preventing you to allow to fall asleep. That someone you have to let go and be no one. And when you are no one, definitely you follow sleep very easy. And people in India, in the rickshawalas, when they're sleeping on the rickshaw, that you almost fell down, they're having an incredible nap. And then here people sleeping in this fancy house, fancy room with a very expensive bed, and they're having miserable time to fall asleep. So it has nothing to do with the house, bed, or this bed, but it has to do with someone inside is not allowing them to sleep. So meditation of emptiness is recommended. Meditation on chur basically means you're giving away this demon in you who is not allowing you to fall asleep. Letting all the pay your debts and karmic debts, and letting your self go, which the self which is preventing you to fall asleep. So meditation on emptiness, meditation on nature, meditation on selflessness, these are helpful. And and sometimes even, I don't know how many people believe in not in that, but then also in the teaching says, sometimes it could be also external forces. You are in a place, and some place you sleep very well, and another place you don't sleep very well, because energetically, some place have much rougher the spirits or the energy of the spirits or something like that. So they say doing like making friends with the local spirits, making offering to local spirits, saying them, making peace with the place where you are is also recommended in some cases. So there are always these different ideas.
Thank you. This has been really wonderful. Nyando, can you put a link up to Rinpoche's Facebook page so that people can find him?
Yes.
And thank you. I think that covers the most important questions that have come up.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So let's do a short meditation, just maybe a short one, and I will guide this meditation. So to all. So first of all, find a comfortable position, a physically comfortable position. Bring your full attention, awareness to the present moment, where you are. Bring your attention, awareness to your breath. Breathe deep. And be aware of whatever discomfort is here in your body, energetically, in your mind. Whatever there is discomfort, effort, be aware of them. Nothing wrong and having them, but be aware of them. And breathe it out. As you breathe out, less effort, more connection to yourself. And those you have a reoccurring dream, be aware of that. This moment, bring full attention, awareness on your reoccurring dream, because your reoccurring dream is trying to give you our message, teach you something. It wanted to be heard, it wanted to be seen, it wanted to be acknowledged, and that's what we are trying to do here. Be aware of it. And most of the dream, recurring dream, like, just giving a few examples, like feeling lost. Lost in a different places and different situation, but there's a deep core sense, it's feeling lost. If that's your theme of your dream, then you're trying to feel that emotion, feeling lost. The energy of feeling lost in those dreams reoccurring again and again. And trying to go deeper and be aware of this sense of I who is feeling lost. Lost is an experience, but there's someone who's feeling lost. That is I that you identify with. Be aware of that. Or many dreams, in modern dreams, there are dreams where people are always living with deadlines, trying to catch up with everything, never feeling enough able to catch up with the situations and things, deadline after deadlines. So in dreams, it reflects, collective reflection is where you feel you get late to something. You're late in the meeting, you're late to meet someone, you're late at the train station, you're late at the airport, you're late for bus, you're late to meet your friend, but recurring again and again. Never able to catch up. You're late. If that is a recurring dream, be aware of that. It's completely okay, nothing wrong. Be aware of it. And feel the emotion, being late, the discomfort of late, whatever you're feeling in that dream. If you're trying to allow to remember, you will remember that energy right this very moment. So it's not only the feeling of late, the most importantly, someone is feeling late. That is more important than being late. that sense of I, sense of someone, sense of me, feeling late, identifying with being late, identifying feeling never on time, that identity. Bring the light of awareness to that identity. So this 2 examples, but whatever other dreams, similar dreams you have, do the same way. Not through the experience, but the experiencer. Bring the light of awareness to experiencer, the identity to conditions, to pain. Those you do not have a reoccurring dream, but you might have reoccurring events in your life. For example, never feeling good enough, or never feeling, you don't feel that you're not good enough. That is projection, that from collective projection you feel from others. Others are not seeing you, that you're not good enough, you don't do enough, you're not good enough, you're not capable enough, not enough, not good enough. And therefore, you're feeling that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. I am not worthy enough. That sense of lack of beauty, qualities, identifying with that. So be aware of that. So either in the waking or in dream, recurrent dream, narrow down to I, who is identifying with the pain or weakness or lack of something, conditions. I, what I call it, pain identity in dreams, pain identity in awakens, pain identity in the specific situations, in relationship, pain identity in professions, pain identity as a meditator, pain identity as a husband, lover, pain identity as whatever it is, the role. Not good enough. And this pain identity has been denied, rejected, suppressed, avoided, labeled differently, and then successfully managed to avoid until now. That is single important reason why this recurring dream is happening, why this single recurring events happening in life. The only reason why happening again and again in your life, it's not illuminated. It's not acknowledged. So bring full attention and awareness to this pain identity in yourself and give spacious, luminous, warm hug. 3 things. Spacious means being fully open to that pain, which you have not been for all these years. Luminous means being fully aware and connected, connecting like a mother looking at the crying baby, fully attentive. Warmed, that sending that energy of the loving energy from the mother to the child, sending your warmth, loving energy, caring energy to that your pain. Send that love to your pain, which you're expecting from someone else. Send this support to your pain, which you're expecting from someone else. Send the acknowledgement to your pain which you're expecting from your boss. Everything what you're expecting from other place, other people, you can do it and you should do it now, this very moment, because you are right in front of it. You're facing it. You're aware of it. Give the spacious, luminous, warm hug. Hug. Allow this frozen ice of this pain identity, it's melting away by the warmth of the light, the warmth of that awareness, melting away. And you're feeling more and more free. You're feeling more and more that openness. You're feeling more and more connection with that openness. You're feeling more and more warmth in that light. So you are not this pain. You are unbounded space. You are not these blockages. You are infinite possibility. You are not these wounds. You are this warmth and all the perfected qualities. Recognize that. Exercise that. Share that. Okay.
That was intense.
Thank you.
I think I need to do it a few times. I guess we all have those parts that we don't want to talk to. Thank you, Rinpoche. I don't think I finished.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Are we complete for today?
Yes.
Then let us together, by whatever way, if you want to chant it or like that, dedicate the merits, offer the well-being from this out into the universe to add to the pot of Gewa, the infinite pot. May all beings be happy. May all beings be.
Thank you.
And we are complete, Nayanda. Okay.